Well, you know what they say, everything in Texas is bigger, right? Well, I guess that's also true when it comes to racetracks, because the Texas Motor Speedway is part of the second largest sports and entertainment complex in the country and the third largest in the entire world. It has day and night racing of all kinds all year round. The first NASCAR race was held here in 1997. Like Atlanta, the track is a 1.5-mile oval with 24 degrees of banking in the corners. That means we're talking lap speeds of around 190 miles per hour on fresh tires. That's where the similarities end, though, because unlike Atlanta, the racing groove here is narrow. Side-by-side racing in the turns requires a lot of skill and trust in your fellow drivers. Because of this, you want to do most of your passing coming off the corners rather than going into it, because it's tough to hold a low line all the way through these turns. As you come off turn 4, you'll want to be careful as you approach the dogleg on the front straight. The track angle here is pretty sharp, and if you're too low, you can run out of pavement in a hurry. If this happens to you while there's a car on your outside, it's better to back out of the throttle and let him go rather than risk having a huge accident. Okay, it's time to go for a ride. Let's go. Okay, here we are. At the start-finish line, we're doing about 185 at full throttle with the car close to the outside wall. Work the car in a long, gentle curve that will let you cut across the last part of the dogleg and back up to the outside wall as you approach turn 1. Just after you pass the last caution light on the straight, you'll be doing about 190 when you roll almost all the way out of the throttle. Work the car down toward the apron line and try to be down there just after you get to turn 2. Just before the apex of 1 and 2, you'll be down to under 170. Start rolling the throttle back on and try to keep the car as close to the apron line as possible. As you exit 2, don't get to full throttle too early or the back straight wall will end your day in a hurry. Let the car drift to the wall as you exit turn 2, and you should hit the top of the back straight at about 170 or so. Keep it at full throttle right against the wall all the way down here. You'll get to about 190. When you reach the last caution light leading into turn 3, roll out of the throttle completely and then get right back on it just a hair as you work it back down to the apron line. Try to be at the line just as you hit the apex of 3 and 4. Your speed will bottom out at about 165 here. Just before you get to the apex, slowly roll back up to full throttle. Stay at full throttle through turn 4 and try to keep it real close to that apron line. At the exit, let the car drift up to the wall. You're doing about 175 when you hit the top of the front stretch. Work the car right to left so you can cut across the first half of the dogleg on the way back to the start-finish line. This time, we'll go through without pausing so you can get a feel for how the track flows. Good lap times here will be just a tick under 30 seconds. That's Texas Motor Speedway. This is a fun, fast racetrack. It's also a place that can bite you in the backside if you get too far out of the racing groove. Tires are a huge factor here. Once they get worn, you'll have to slow down a lot to keep the car low and in the groove. So keep that in mind if you want to gamble on taking just 2 tires late in the race.